It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great, like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome to Superhero Slate, the show where we run down the latest superhero entertainment news. My name is Chris. Mike, this week, Tom Cruise films a lightsaber fight. Mike, good words I never thought I'd say out loud in my life, for sure. The Winter Soldier gets two-faced. I just watched that movie. I was telling Mike that, so it's on the background. The X-Men return to Marvel proper, and more. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I need that Les Grossman spinoff. I want him to return from Tropic Thunder and do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 The the very I guess it's not chauvinistic, but like very aggressive character you played who was balding as a movie producer. And honestly, I mean I know I've read the stories, like he did that after the Oprah incident, right? Remember when his like he was his like everything was tanking. When everything was tanking for Tom Cruise in the 2000s, South Park was praising him. He had to pivot to play a parody character, and I think that damage control has been done, so he doesn't need to anymore. And so instead, he's showing up at Star Wars, doing stuff with that. We'll talk about that later. But I mean, honestly, it's one of these. It's not a busy week. It's the beginning of the year, the first full week of calendar week of the year. Not a lot's going on, but we still got some fun stuff to talk about, I guess, here as the show goes on, Mike. But yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yes. 2.5 hour movie. It is a long film. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I would say yeah. I would say the we really love this movie as well. I think the two things that are interesting to me. It's a 2.5 hour movie. You don't get Benoit Blanc until 30 minutes into the film. By the way, it was over 30 minutes by the time he shows up, and I'm like, that's a bold move. And then I noticed I had 2 hours left. I'm like, oh, that's why we're doing that. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It what's cool what's cool is that, like, this could be a stage play as well, because like it doesn't require a lot of scenery change. Like everything is very tight, right? Like everything is very where it needs to be, and it's not like sprawling, and you're not like he's not doing journeys throughout the entire thing. It's like all right there. And that's to me that's a telling of a good story, right? You don't need to go everywhere when everything is right in front of you for that. Um, I would say the other thing I would say, I agree with you. What I would like to do is maybe it's a like do you remember the young Indiana Jones stories, like maybe young Benoit Blanc series on Netflix, like where I agree with the movie, but like they plan it so the movie and the young version, like, hey, here's how he got into detecting and stuff like that. Like we could go through some more maybe smaller, less murder level cases on like a Netflix show. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He. Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing for me is that this interesting is like just how they just pull him out of, like they pluck the like Benoit Blanc out of thin air for all of these movies. Like everyone just knows who he is, and they know they need him for a mystery, and he just kind of shows up and does his thing, and everyone's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Like it's not like you need to believe that he just does it, and that's it's beautiful. No, no, I'm not at all. But I've revisited a lot of Glass Onion because of the Jeremy Renner hot sauce. I was like, maybe some of this will pop up in this, but Jeremy Renner plays a real character in this, not himself. Mm. Mm. I don't. That's a good. I yeah. I'm excited for the take home murder mystery adventures of Benoit Blanc, where you get it like it's a murder mystery in a box that you get to do with friends and family. Uh, yeah, yeah, you gotta get that real what's it Foghorn Leghorn kind of drawl going on there as he's talking. Like it's so fun. I love the characters. This one was actually, I had guessed wrong in this one because we'll not tell you who did it, but like, you know, you're in a murder mystery, you're always like, who is the culprit? Who's really doing it? And I had guessed wrong on it because I was just kind of thinking in a different direction. The problem with a cast this large is I feel like some of them didn't get enough time as well to really shine in their characters. But like I said, I want more. I want more. I don't want to wait like, what was it, 3 years between them or whatever it was. I want more of these as soon as we can, Mike. I think it'd be a good time. Mm-hmm. The Muppets and the Muppets one. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The biggest thing that took me out is and I hate to, is actress Mila Kunis took me out because she's wearing a very much like a state trooper outfit the entire time, and she doesn't fit it, like her in a state trooper doesn't blend with my mind very well, and this is on me. But I also kept thinking of Scary Movie 3 whenever the state trooper kept showing up with the hat that kept getting larger and larger on her, and I'm like, I know that's me. It's nothing against the movie, but I was just like, oh Lord, like I need to not do that when I see her. But other than that, everyone's fun. You know, I agree. I think if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's on Netflix, right? If you have Netflix as is, so if you still got your Stranger Things a subscription through the month, yeah, get in there and check. And you know, keep it because you know, like we said, One Piece season 2 is coming up in March, so you know, might as well. What do you got? Yes. Uh huh. Oh. Well, we can talk. I mean, we did. I mean, I don't have Netflix. How do you think I watched Wake Up Dead Man as a pirate? Obviously, Mike. No, but yeah, yeah. That's a that one fell off. But yeah, let's just jump into this because I think this is relevant. So, a upcoming Amazon Prime movie got its first. This is his first trailer. This is the first time this movie's ever crossed my radar, Mike, and it's called The Wrecking Crew. And this is an awful name for a movie that looks like it could be a lot of fun, as like background noise. And it's essentially Dave Bautista and Jason Momoa. They are like brothers, I believe, and it looks like a Lethal Weapon style film where they're trying to track down their father's murder in what I believe is Hawaii. And they essentially, there's lots of gunfights, car crashes, explosions. At one point, I believe you said, "Hey, that's Ned in the back seat, isn't it?" So we got I forget the actor's name who plays Ned in Spider-Man. Yeah. He's wearing a wig. Yeah. This, well, yeah. Yeah, yeah, they be in Dune. I don't know if they shared screen time, but they were in Dune together as a film. And honestly, I thought this was like a Fast and Furious spinoff for a hot second as well. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, because no one's going to the theaters. I know that much. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. Well, yeah, I think Amazon to me is a wild card. They don't promote a lot of things. They're really bad at advertising, and things usually kind of. Oh yeah, the bluff. Yeah, I'd never heard of that. Yeah, Cur- well, Priyanka Chopra. I think she's like or Chopra. She's like the one of the highest paid actresses, like from India, right? Like very popular. But I think there's bad at advertising. Like The Boys is coming up. That'll end. They've got Lord of the Rings. You know, they're just not good at pulling the stuff together, and that's fine. So I kind of keep that in the back of my mind for anything Prime. I'm going to add this to our Jason Momoa list for the year. Right, we already have him in Dune. We have what was the other things he was in? We talked. He's Blanca, and I forget what the other thing he was in. There's like three. So this is our fourth Jason Momoa film for 2026. So if we're lucky at this pace, we can probably get one a month that we don't know about. Uh, it's also interesting. I have Guardians of the Galaxy playing in the background, seeing Dave Bautista post like bulkiness, like seeing him into like as a regular person size kind of guy, and I'm like, oh, he's trying to play the straight man to Jason Momoa's Mel Gibson, essentially from Lethal Weapon, right? So to me, this is something I might throw on in the background. I'm not going to put like a lot of stake into it. My bar is very medium, so if it just meets that bar, I'll be thrilled for this. But I might put it on to check it. I will say that I'm going to give it. It's leaning on two things from Deadpool. Mike, do you know what two things from Deadpool this trailer had going for it? Yes, it appears to be like maybe a sister or a wife. Marina Baccarin is in this movie, and they are playing like it's "Angel of the Morning," I believe, is the song as well. So very much leaning onto two Deadpool heavy things. But it seems like two pretty good action stars and a little streaming movie here, and the trailers in our show notes if you guys want to check that out. It's coming out January 28th. This is the first I've heard of it 2 weeks away, Mike. That's how good at advertising Amazon is. They just love letting people know they have stuff on their channel. Let's change it over to Star Wars. I brought this up earlier. You don't know what it's about, so I'm going to kind of get your thoughts here, or at least tell you, and let's figure it out. So apparently, during the filming of Star Wars Starfighter, Tom Cruise showed up on set, and Shawn Levy let him shoot some of the scenes. And they were, and this is a quote directly from it. So I will say, so what's not in here is I'm going to tell you how Tom Cruise showed up. Apparently, he was helicoptered in, and then on the set they were blaring the Mission Impossible theme song as he came to visit the set in his helicopter. So number one, I would love to get that vibe kind of going on. Number two is that, and this is the quote, Cruise just wanted to watch them film. He told them, but Levy, setting up a scene involving a lightsaber duel in the water, suggested the star jump on one of the cameras. So essentially what started off as what I assume was a joke ended up being a real thing, because Shawn Levy confirmed that at 1 week Steven Spielberg was there, the next week Tom Cruise is wielding the camera, ruining his very nice shoes. So now when you see the movie, you'll know that part of it was shot by Tom. What is this Star Wars movie that has both Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise showing up there? Is it Shawn Levy's, like, I don't know, persona? Is he bringing something to the table we don't know about? Like, what is up with this? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine. And here's the thing we're kind of glossing over here is that we honestly had no idea there was going to be lightsabers in this movie, Mike. But they just confirmed there's a lightsaber duel in the water. I would love to see a lightsaber duel in water. How's this going to play out? Like, what's going on with this? Mm-hmm. Tauntaun? A water tauntaun? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested in who is he also fighting. I don't think we know the villains of this too bad. I think Mia Goth is in here, but I don't know who else. So I'm excited to see some footage from this. But now is it because Tom Cruise's name is attached? Absolutely not. But when I'm watching those credits roll at the end of the film, and he gets his what's is it the ASC? Is that the Cinematographer Guild? Like he's gonna get his credits so he can become a cinematographer for that at the end of this. So, mm, yeah, well, yeah. If we put your name in it and send you an action figure, how about that? Or one of those retractable lightsabers. You want one of those? One from Disney? We'll send you one of those. Uh, yeah, yeah. That's true. There it is. So I'm gonna keep my eye out for that. Pretty fun. But I want to see some Starfighter stuff. We do have obviously the Mandalorian Grogu coming in May. We are in a I wouldn't say Star Wars lull, but I would say this is maybe the renaissance, the end of an era and the beginning of an era coming in the next 2 years for Star Wars here. Moving on to Avengers Doomsday. Yet again, this is we're gonna be talking about this until these trailers are done. And the trailer number 3 that you saw, right, the X-Men trailer, is officially released on YouTube and channels online, so you can watch that. So we get to revisit, obviously, Professor Xavier, Magneto, in McKellen's Magneto, Patrick Stewart's Professor Xavier, and then James Marsden, Cyclops, in the comic accurate suit shooting his big optic blast towards Sentinels in the background. I went through this. I did confirm this matches up with the aerial set photos that we saw in the summer because of the banners in the background. There's like little like concrete columns on the ground. I'm like, oh, look at that. But to me, I don't know. This is still bringing some hype levels for me. Like, I really enjoyed watching this, and I don't know if it's because obviously for us, X-Men was like the first big comic property that like mainstreamed comic book movies, right, in the 2000. Seeing there with these three actors who were there from the beginning. We probably get to see Patrick Stewart die as Professor X for the 5th time in 25 years coming up here. I'm very excited, Mike. Does this still jive with you after seeing it in theaters? Like, are you like, yes, I want to see this in all these scenes? Well, yeah. Here's the thing. The the problem with that is everyone you're talking to online with that hasn't probably seen the first ones or didn't grow up with it. You got to think that's that is 25 years ago, 26 years ago now that nobody saw this. Well, too bad. You're old. I'm fucking old. We're all old around here, and we know it. So like they're experiencing it for the first time, but they may have seen clips or like the other one. And I will agree that this is what we now know would be the coolest X-Men thing, right? Seeing Cyclops in a comic accurate outfit with this blast is really cool. This is nothing Bryan Singer could have ever done in 2000s, right? Like the technology wasn't there. No one would have accepted the comic accurate Jim Lee costumes in 2000. That's why everyone got the black leather. So they are of their time and place. And yes, it may eventually be better than the others, but again, I agree with you. You have to know the context of the originals. They weren't like, people didn't know, they were afraid to be nerds back then in public, right? Like it wasn't accepted like it is now, which is awesome. But I'm thrilled for this, and I've seen the 4th trailer. Mike, did I send you the trailer number 4? I don't remember if I sent it to you or not, because yeah. Yes. Yep. So yes, and we should know tomorrow, I believe, if there's in fact a 5th and 6th trailer, because the new ones usually hit theaters, I think, on the Sunday. Like they've been changing on the Sunday, and I have not heard anything about it, so this may be the last one. But it does feature for everyone who you'll see it on Tuesday, Wakandans, Atlanteans, and the Fantastic Four in one trailer. So we're going to get truly 4 characters who, Namor didn't appear in Fantastic Four, but he is traditionally associated with Fantastic Four, right? And same with Black Panther stuff. So I'm very excited for that. I did the math, Mike. We are less than a month away from the Super Bowl today. It is the 8th, so we're 4 weeks away. So we're exactly 4 weeks away from that. I'm thrilled to hopefully get a full event trailer. It's been interesting watching people who don't know the stuff that we do see this, like people at work They're like, oh my god, I didn't know that the X-Men were coming back, or like, oh my gosh, this is great. And I love to see the renewed interest in people who aren't inundated with all these things every day. And that's got me some hope for this coming up here. I'm very, very excited for Avengers Doomsday. But for that, I'm not bringing any other rumors. I keep seeing people are dropping so much news. I'm going to say news rumors on this because they're hopefully like, oh, if one of these hits in 12 months, we're going to be able to say that we reported on this first when that happens. So, and then also the AI trailers. I'm worried the one you saw, Mike, was an AI trailer. So for the trailer number 4, because the people will take the cam versions and then run it through AI and be like, hey, remake this as if it were cinematic. And I'm like, oh no, it's been pretty rough out there to pull the real stuff. So, anything else for Doomsday before we jump into the next topic here? All right. After I got done with the Winter Soldier, the next movie that came on immediately was Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's playing in the background right now. And with that, we heard on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 at the end that Star-Lord will return in Marvel somehow, some way. Currently, an insider rumor is that the character of Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt, will appear in both Vision Quest and Avengers Doomsday at some point. Now, you may be laughing, but do you remember that leaked concept art that showed him as the roommate with the White Vision from like earlier last year? That person's account who was putting up their actual Marvel artwork that got taken down. Yeah, so if you look up the concept art of Star-Lord and Vision, they were both roommates, and the insider's saying that at the end of the series they will end up roommates somehow. I don't know how. This is the craziest ass rumor I've heard. This I feel like Charlie in Always Sunny, where he's got the strings on the dry erase, like the pin board, the cork board, like going back and forth. I'm like, how do we get Star-Lord with Vision in this? Like, how do we accidentally get him across there? Because I don't think the White Vision, where we left him, is going to put up an ad for roommate needed, and Star-Lord is going to answer that ad. But we do not. The Vision Quest and the Punisher special presentation are the 2 live action shows I think that are after Wonder Man, but have not been given any windows right now. Other than Daredevil. We know when Daredevil's coming, but there's nothing on this. I assume both Vision Quest and Punisher will happen before Doomsday, right? Or do you think they're going to save Vision Quest for post-Doomsday, kind of like, we're doing other stuff, like, we've got other live-action content. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be a soft return. Like, I don't think he's going to be a main part of Vision Quest. I think if anything, it might be maybe the end of the series is like, oh, we've somehow pieced these 2 together, because Star-Lord is known as a superhero. He was there for the fight against Thanos, all this fun stuff. So I think they'll be able to put them together. But it's also would explain how on the other concept art where it was Star-Lord, Vision, and like the Young Avengers, like around a table with Wong. And if most of the champions, 2 of the champions are in fact Vision's sons from the Wanda reality, that would mean, oh, this is how he knows them, because he's been slumming it with old Viz over throughout the month. So that's fine. I think he would be fun with the younger, quote, Avengers champions, if you will. I think Chris Pratt could fit in that. If his movie where he's the AI judge and jury for his murder doesn't tank him first. He has been. What was the movie he did on Amazon where it was like the time travel one? Yeah. Yeah. because he's been on doing the Terminal List every year, right? Like that's been coming back as a show on Amazon. I need to pull. I'm trying to pull up his where's his body of work at on Amazon here. Not Amazon, Wikipedia. Where's his Wikipedia acting credits? There we go. We're gonna pull him up. Let's see what he's got, Mike. Can you guess? Oh, Mercy. The last movie he did was The Electric State. Did you watch The Electric State? Yeah. Yep, he's got the Terminal List and the Terminal List Dark Wolf, which seems to be a spinoff. I forgot he's got Mario coming this year as well. Do not forget that. Yeah, and he also did Garfield in 24 and Garfield 2 in 2027. So he's got definitely some time to actually do some good work in between all this other stuff. So yeah, anyway, Star-Lord, I think I'd like to see, the Guardians are great characters. I love the cosmic side of Marvel. We know they're talking about Nova. We know they're talking about Annihilation and Annihilus. So I would love to. And then Fantastic Four also had their own space stuff. I would love more space stuff to come out of Marvel. We don't need to be everything, but Star-Lord, he is a prime, I guess, someone who introduced that. I'd love to get more of it down the road. Blade is probably dead at Marvel, Mike. I mean, I don't know how to say it. We've been talking about this movie since 2019 when it was announced at Comic-Con. This is the only one of that announcements that's really not come to fruition, right? But that doesn't mean the character is gone. The rumor is that Marvel is putting this movie up so he can appear in Midnight Suns first after all the multiversal stuff going on. And I also got a little bit of news that the Blade movie in its last iteration or whatever, it's on its 6th rewrite, by the way, in case people are keeping tabs, was supposed to tell the history of both Blade and the Ebony Blade, which is a tease, and the end of Eternals, and the title's a double meaning of Blade, Ebony Blade. I like the idea of Blade. I like the supernatural side of Marvel needs to make an appearance after the Man Thing, Werewolf by Night stuff. Midnight Suns is a fun game, but I just don't see how he would fit in the multiversal saga. I'm kind of glad they're holding off until they wrap this up before bringing him out. Any thoughts on that? Mm-hmm. Yes, the one look. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if he was waiting for anything. He still did Jurassic World 7 or whatever it was, and I don't know if he was waiting for stuff. I would like to see him do more things, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna make $1 billion because it's Jurassic Park, right? At the end of the day, yeah. So I mean, yeah. To me, I'm not surprised. Do I think it's scrapped for good? No, I don't think it's for good. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's the right time. Marvel's still scrambling for the quantity or quality over quantity stuff. They're still course correcting, right? Post Disney Plus, Bob Chapek, Bob Iger, all the changes. So I don't think it's over. I just think it's hey, not right now, and we're not going to talk about it till it's ready. kind of thing. Did you finish playing Midnight Suns, by the way? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah. No, just more curious with that. Moving on. So Spider-Woman also dead. The one that they announced with Olivia Wilde in like 2021 that I forgot they even announced they were threatening this with from Sony. So they were like, oh yeah, Olivia Wilde's gonna make a Spider-Woman movie. We're like, what does it mean? Which Spider-Woman? Oh no, we're getting Madam Web instead. But out of all this tragic news, Mike, I know, pour one out for this Sony film, but Sony is now way more willing to let Marvel use more characters per reports. Like they're like, yep, Marvel MCU can use characters. We talked last week about how they Black Panther couldn't use Kraven. They've kind of forced the Venom / Spider-Man No Way Home crossover at the end, right? With the symbiote. It sounds like Sony's like, yeah, whatever. Marvel knows how to make the money. We've lost our ass on Kraven, Madam Web, Venom. Let's let them do the stuff and give them the characters when they want it. I would really like a Spider-Woman to be in the Avengers. Now, for those who may not be familiar, Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, is not really related to Spider-Man. She was a espionage like spy who had some experiments done to her to give her abilities. She's not wasn't a girl who was bit by a spider and gave her spider powers. So she's more known for her espionage stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I yeah, she's also an Avengers character. I wouldn't put her in Spider-Man, right? Like if it's like if we get to the point where the Avengers grow to have a lot more people, Spider-Woman definitely needs to be there. But like if it's in the Spider-Man realm, absolutely use the multiversal stuff, right? Even if it's I guess we had Madam Web with 4 different spider-powered women that didn't. I couldn't tell you the difference between them. Yeah, this should have been. I'm glad it didn't come to fruition. Is all I'm gonna say for Spider-Woman. So we'll hopefully get to see more stuff. I am excited for. I don't know how many announcements we're gonna get at San Diego Comic-Con this year, Mike. 2026 for the future of Marvel, but. I am excited to see where the future holds post Secret Wars, for sure. On the flip side, the DCU is scooping up. Well, this isn't really even DCU. This is the DC. Batman 2 is scooping up Marvel actors. They've already got Scarlett Johansson. Now they're hiring Sebastian Stan, the Winter Soldier himself, and he is no longer rumored to be playing Harvey Dent. He is confirmed via THR to be playing Harvey Dent in this upcoming movie. And yeah, I was really hoping he would be Hush, because if you look at him in some of the right photos, he could pull off a very similar to Robert Pattinson look, right? Like very close to each other. If you put like the right 5 o'clock shadow in the right angle, they could look very similar. But with this comes the rumor that Scarlett Johansson is playing not the Phantasm, but in fact a version of Gilda Dent, his wife, from the comic books. And this could lead, a lot of people are expecting that actually Scarlett Johansson will be essentially a female Two-Face that they've leaned to in some of the comic book pages over the years. Which would be a twist. We've never seen that person come to fruition in movies, and they've said that this is going to be some villains we've never seen before. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Long Halloween comic book plot, Mike, but then that one, Gilda Dent goes on to murder a bunch of rogues around Gotham to help make her husband's life easier. So in the Long Halloween comic book, and I would love to. I'd love to see that come to fruition here. I think instead of turning Harvey Dent into Two-Face, let's see, or if he even is Two-Face, but let's bring in some more really classic storylines, if you will, but put a twist on them for us. Give us something new. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I don't. I was gonna say I don't know how much more juice they're gonna give Matt Reeves Batman stuff, right? Like Brave and the Bold will probably be coming out after this. They might give him this. If it does good, they could absolutely do 3. I don't see a problem with that. They keep also, well, they say the second season of The Penguin is also kind of in talks as well. So this is a universe with legs despite the DCU. But I mean, honestly, I think I don't know if he's maybe looking for other work, but like I think his film time for Marvel is a lot less than if he wanted to do other movies. I'm gonna have to. We should probably start pulling up these actors we're talking about. So Sebastian Stan, what was he in last? Was it what is his? I don't know what else he's been in recently. He was the Apprentice. Yep. Yeah. He did Pam and Tommy in 2022, where he was Tommy Lee. He's got a movie called Fjord coming up. As a Romanian Norwegian kind of thing. But other than that, he's really been in Captain America: Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Avengers: Doomsday. It's really been it. So I mean, if you got the money from him, take it. Don't be doing any more Falcon and Winter Soldiers. Just stay where you are if you can for that. I think this. I think overall, if he's playing Harvey Dent, I think it's fine with me. I've got no big red flags for this, right? Like I think he'll do great. He'll do great with that. The last bit of news on the Batman is essentially that Barry is it Cohan? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm pretty sure it's Irish. Is most likely to return as the Joker. And we kind of got him. He was like blurry faced the whole time, right? That 50mm dream lens when they filmed him through the glass in the first one. So he'll probably come here. Do you think? I don't think he'll ever have a big role in these movies. I think he'll always be like, unless he breaks out at the end of this one and he's the villain of the third one. But like, I don't think he will be a big player in this film, right? We talked about the Rogues Gallery a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we had what I guess it was I forget his name already. The Dark Knight when Heath Ledger's Joker, and then after that we went straight to what, Jared Leto. Was there? Yeah. So yeah, I think we go back farther, but I'm just trying to think recently. Like, I know he's been in the anime stuff, but I'm like, the Jared Leto Joker probably just left such a bad taste in everyone's mouth. So, it is good to have maybe, like you said, have him maybe build up to the third one again. I've not heard any reference of him in the DCU proper, so from the Creature Commandos, that'll be fun. Last bit of news here, so like I said, it's a kind of short week, but we can talk about this. Mr. Miracle, the animated series that was announced for the DCU. Tom King, the writer of the award-winning series, the most recent award-winning series, has confirmed that casting is underway for these, and For those who may not remember, James Gunn said early on in the DCU that animated characters, whoever voices the animated character, would also probably play their counterparts in live action, the same version. So we might learn how this fits into the wider DCU as casting comes together for this. For Mr. Miracle, for those who don't know, he is essentially a new god. His girlfriend is Big Barda. They're all related to Darkseid, Steppenwolf, Granny Goodness, which is like one of the weirdest character names I've ever heard of in my life for this. But like we've not really seen a lot of cosmic DCU from James Gunn yet. Supergirl will probably change that a little bit, but any thoughts on this? I know you're probably not as familiar with Mr. Miracle as other DC characters. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My favorite thing about Mr. Miracle is his actual name is Scott Free, and he's an escape artist, so he gets away scot free. And I'm like, remember when people like Stan Lee did all the alliteration, him and Jack Kirby, and I'm like, this is Jack Kirby's creation, and he called him Scott Free, huh? Like we're at an interesting point where character names and puns are starting to play together, which I do appreciate. And I think he's like, what is his power? I did have it pulled up here. Scott Free is essentially, I don't know. I have no idea what his power is. I'm gonna have to look this up because. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and what I've noticed, again, watching Creature Commandos being an animated series, they are very willy-nilly with some of the stories they're telling, right? Like, it's very much like we can tell very fantastical stories in animation, and I wonder how that would transfer over that. I did look it up. He is a master escapologist, but he is essentially part of the quote-unquote new gods, who are people from the planet Apocalypse. And he is superhuman strength, agility, speed, and he essentially stopped aging around 30 and is essentially functionally immortal, which is interesting. But I love, when you look him up, he is a very, like you mentioned, a unique color palette for a comic book character. The red, yellow, and greens. Like, he is very vibrant in that. And I'm interested to see if this character would even make a transition to live action. I do still feel like I would love to see this world, I guess. How were these people, these essentially Asgardians, if you will, is what it feels like, right? Like, they live on another planet, and they're essentially immortal. But I would love to see how they, because one of the things we talked about Supergirl, it feels like a Guardians of the Galaxy rehash, right? Like the grungy space bars and pirates, and it's kind of lawless out in space. But like, this seems to be very much organized and powerful and a little different. So I would love to see what they do with this. I'm cautiously optimistic for this. I would love to see what this is. But for those who don't know, the Tom King, Mitch Gerads series won the Eisner Award 2019 for Best Limited Series. So if you've not read and you want to know more about him, I absolutely recommend picking up Mr. Miracle from 2019. With this, it kind of got me thinking, Mike, earlier. It was like, what other obscure characters from DC would you want to put into an animated show? If you were like James Gunn, can you like Mike, you've read some stuff. Who would you put into an animated show offhand? Just any character. It can be anybody. Clayface is getting a movie. This guy's getting an animated show. Who would you pick out of there? Yeah. Red Tornado? Yeah, Red Tornado. He's essentially like a Vision version, and he was in the Flash TV show. When you said that, my immediate thought went to the Flash series, right? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the Darth Vader helmet. Yeah. Yeah, probably not. I will tell you I just had it. Oh, there was two. One would be, remember from that Justice League cartoon, the Wonder Twins? Remember? I would love to see how he does the Wonder Twins in this universe. His world is goofy enough. I could see him doing that very easily. But also, is it the Red Hood? A Red Hood live action movie would be, I think, it would be essentially the Winter Soldier of DC. I would love for them to do that when they get to the Brave and the Bold. Like maybe after they get Batman going, like do a true, oh my gosh, Red Hood is, obviously Jason Todd. He's alive. We thought he was dead kind of thing at the hands of the Joker. I think that would blow people's minds if they can pull that off. For people who don't know who the Red Hood is, right? At the end of the day. So that's what I would do. I'm looking up some pictures of the Red Tornado from the TV universe, and he looks absolutely crazy how the effects changed on this dude. I'm dropping it in our chat here real fast because the Supergirl version, the Crisis on Earth X, and then the return of him in Supergirl shows like how, I don't know, I guess visual effects changed in like 3 years on the CW. So I don't know if you can see that photo I sent you or not. In your message. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I miss those days. They were simpler times. Simpler times. If anybody else has anything DC they want to see, let us know. Really obscure characters or something fun, something they resonate with. Let us know. We'd love to hear that. And then before we wrap up the show, again, this is the call out. I should have said it at the top of the show because I was thinking about it. Send us your Super Bowl recipes. It is a time for snacking and eating. After that January where we all look at how much we ate over the holidays and say, God damn, we need to really lose some weight. And then the Super Bowl comes and we just forget that for that weekend because calories don't count at the Super Bowl. If you've got recipes, dips, things you make, sliders, finger foods, whatever, send it my way because I'm starting to make my invites for our yearly Super Bowl party. And I was telling someone at work how many trailers are going to be this year because of how many movies are coming out in 2026. So I'm very excited to get down with the commercials and then and see how that goes. So send it your way. But people want to know what you're up to, Mike. Where can they find you at? Find me on Instagram, Valdan87, VALDAN, or video games of the same name. If people want to know more about a show where we have all these show notes or get anything every week, where can they get all these goodies at? Mm-hmm. It's just one image. Have you seen Speed? It's like the movie Speed, but my driveway. Yeah, 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 yeah. He just keeps doing laps. How many laps is he gonna do? That's right. We'll see you guys next week.